Today I wanted to talk about something a little bit different, more like innovation, and kind of how we stay innovative in what we do at Threadless, and kind of things that we're noticing that are changing in just business and like different waves that we feel like we're kind of riding. But first, a little bit about what Threadless is. I started this company about 12 years ago. It's a community-based design company. We host an ongoing open call for design submissions where artists come and upload their work to our website. We've had about 200,000 artists submit designs over the years, so it's quite large now. But the designs get voted on a scale of 0 to 5. The best ones we make into products, and we pay the artists handsomely for their work. We release new products every single day on our site. This is what it looks like. The mass majority of our products are t-shirts, but we also sell other products like hoodies and things that aren't apparel, like water bottles and iPhone cases, things like that. Our community is made up of 3 different types of people, really, and a lot of times they overlap. We have the artists submitting designs, we have people participating by voting and commenting on them, and then we have customers who buy them. This is actually an upcoming redesign of the launch that's going to be, of the site that's going to be launching soon. Even just the navigation of our site shows you how it works. We start by making, then we pick the best stuff, have some fun along the way, and then shop. We also look to our community in addition to the artists submitting the designs, but pretty much every aspect of our business we work with our community on, including our employees too. Our employees are the models on our site. Some more of the site. You can see how voting works and everything. Just some numbers about the company. We've had, that's more like 2.5 million now. These are a little outdated, but globally too, our business is about 55% international, and Australia is our biggest market outside of the US, which is kind of interesting. We shipped to over 160 countries last year as well. Just a sampling of some of the designs we've printed over the years too. Here's some quotes. You know, I started this business as a hobby. It wasn't really even supposed to be a business. It was just my creative contribution to a global network of artists that I was kind of a part of. But then these are some quotes that people have said about the business. Threadless completely blurs the line of who's a producer and who's a consumer. Our business model is actually taught at Harvard Business School now by Kareem Lakhani. And Tim O'Reilly, who's the inventor of Web 2.0, or he coined the term Web 2.0, which I guess is kind of outdated now, so Web 3.0 is coming, had this to say, and this was really humbling to, I mean, I was on the cover of Inc. magazine and it said we're the most innovative small company in America, which was kind of awesome. But this, like I said, this was a hobby, and I'm going to show a quick video here that shows kind of the culture of our business and I guess our office and the way that we kind of like work every day. It's kind of a crazy video. See?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's Dudes, something just washed up on shore. I'll give you $25 for a tee. Knockout! $10! We're gonna get some friends together.
Skinny core.
Yes, this is the Threadless Prince. I'm here for my launch. Tell me where this thing's at? They don't understand.
Peanut butter jelly time! Peanut butter jelly time!
Okay. Gary, what are you doing? No, don't do that. Tony, you truly do have the best deals on the web.
So it's, I mean, we have a lot of fun. We try not to take ourselves too seriously, but yeah, it's, and you can see like from our office and all the different things we have going on, we do a lot of interesting things. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to be talking a little bit about innovation, how we feel like we've been able to find success and be labeled as an innovative company because we actually feel like we're part of a little bit of a greater movement that's happening in culture. I think like consumer empowerment and different technologies out there, particularly the internet, are really changing the way that consumers connect with brands and with each other, and the way brands connect with consumers. And it's also, I think, powering a move away from everything being mass-produced and mass-marketed and more towards a lot of increased variety and social word-of-mouth marketing and more like one-to-one connections. This is one of my favorite examples to give like the best-selling album of all time, Michael Jackson's Thriller. Well, it came out in 1982. That's like, that's a long time ago now, 30 years ago. And it was an amazing album, obviously, but today I was doing the math and you'd have to combine, I found some data from 2010, you'd have to combine 70 top albums of 2010 to get those kind of numbers now. And same thing's happening in like movies and books, and you know, you see network TV going to cable, going to satellite, going to internet, you know, from 5 channels to 50 channels to 500 to infinite. In fashion, you have department stores now getting kind of, went to specialty apparel, and then fast fashion, you know, with like H&M and all these places, and then you also have e-commerce and even just social, like anybody's able to start up a fashion brand if they want to right now. I could just put my designs up on Threadless. There's a couple books that kind of demonstrate this idea that I would recommend. Long Tail by Chris Anderson. Maybe some of you guys may have read this, but one of the best quotes is why the future of business is selling less of more. Here's another quote: the hits now complete with an infinite number of niche markets. The era of one size fits all is ending. In its place is something new, a market of multitudes. And then another book, Seth Godin, I'm a huge fan of. He wrote this book recently, We Are All Weird, and scientifically proved now with this chart that we're all weird. See, the normal is becoming less. Pink is today. Dotted line is yesterday. Less normal people. But one of the quotes from from that book is, during the age of mass, the key was normal. But what happens when mass disappears, when we can connect everyone, customize and optimize, then what happens to normal? Word of mouth is more powerful than ever. I mean, it's always been the most powerful and meaningful way to market a product, right? I mean, when a friend is telling you to go check something out, that's the best recommendation you can possibly get, rather than just reading it on a billboard telling you should like something. Through the power of the internet, specifically social media, word of mouth now spreads faster than ever, and it becomes more and more powerful. And friend groups are just growing at a speed and scale never thought possible, how connected we are in this world. People can say, when you like or comment on something on Facebook, that each one of those 12,000 people who liked that went on their newsfeed, and now all their friends, which, you know, the multiplier that number sees when these posts get out there, it's ridiculous. But then also people can talk, people can say whatever they want about the brand, you know, you have no control over what people say. So it's also becoming more and more important for a brand to kind of give up the control of the conversation, rather than that, just inspire people, their customers, to talk and spread the word through their actions on how people should be interpreting their brands. You know, you have to motivate your customers to say the right things by doing. There's also huge opportunities for people with great ideas to make them happen on their own in a global and meaningful way. The access that individuals now have to funding, collaborators, marketers, customers, it's freely available through all these platforms. Kickstarter is a great example. You know, anywhere from this guy here who I met from South Carolina, he had a grilled cheese sandwich party for me at Threadless because we helped fund his project. You know, he's able to raise 60 grand on Kickstarter to make little like sweaters for your beer bottles. And then you have this guy making $1 million on Kickstarter for his watch thing for the Nano that's now sold in the Apple stores. Etsy is another awesome example of empowering people. You know, this intestines necklace, you previously probably could have only bought at your local craft fair, but now this person can post it up on Etsy and anybody in the world can get access to that.
That's brutally all weird.
Yeah, we are very weird. I mean, look at those feet planters. That's those arm necklaces. I mean, earrings. Sorry. And you know, Etsy sold $400 million of these things in 2010. I don't know who knows what we're at today. They're growing like a weed. So anyway, like the culture shift, that's my little demonstration there, and then I want to talk a little bit about what we do that we feel is kind of in line with that culture shift, that we feel like we're successful because we're kind of a part of that. First of all, our whole model is community driven. We totally flip the funnel on how products are made. You know, typically you'd come up with all these ideas in-house, put them through focus groups, and in the end what would come out is the one product you go to market with. We go to market saying, tell us everything you think we should make and help us narrow it down, and then we'll make the best thing. We're also enabling the weird. I mean, the kind of stuff that comes through our site is amazing. There's this design that was created by this guy Blair Sayre here in Sydney that just came out. That's like one of those hairless cats completely covered in Band-Aids. I mean, one of the weirdest t-shirt designs I've ever seen. We're able to make something like that happen. It's also really great for the word of mouth that I was talking about earlier. When your whole company is community driven, maybe even though we only make the 1% of the products that are good enough to go to production, the other 99% are little bits of content that are shared around the internet that get on average like 10 to 20,000 views. We're not even making that product, but it's great for marketing for us, for, you know, getting traffic to our website and learning about our brand. And the brand is defined by that whole ecosystem of ideas, not just the products that we sell in the end. This is an example of a submission page. You know, this design was not created, but you know, there's all this activity, these comments and posts and, you know, shares around the internet, and we get about 150 of these every single day submitted to our website. Another thing we do is we come out with products every day. Like I said, it used to be every week, now it's every day. And so it guarantees the freshness of designs, reason to come back to the site often. You know, fashion is typically seasonal, which there's 4 of those per year, and there's 365 days in a year, so we find that's a lot. I don't know, that's a lot more exciting. We believe that like regular, rapid releases of product is key to keeping a community of people excited about what you're doing. Always something happening. Another thing we do is we act human. This is our CEO, Tom Ryan, up doing some karaoke at our annual meetup that we host, where our community is invited to come out and come hang out with us and get a few hundred people, and we act ourselves there. It's really important to support individualism, I think, in this new culture, in the way people are connecting more one-on-one. They want to know that there's real people behind brands, and they want to see that the brands are using an authentic tone and language in their marketing and their customer service, all these things. We allow our team to speak with their own voice. We also give attribution for every product that's made. If you buy a t-shirt from us, the name of the person who made it is going to be in the tag. It's going to be right on the product page. Everything that we do is made by people, real people. And when we screw up, we own up to it. One time I deleted our entire forum on accident by running a bad SQL statement. And I posted a thread, apologizing about it, and within 2 days there were 300 comments, people saying like, "Oh man, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. We're going to get through this." And one guy even wrote a script that went through Google's cache and like created a text file that I could then use to re-import the data back into our database. Another thing we believe in is that marketing is really the result of an awesome product and not really the reverse. Great products really speak for themselves, and in the age of social media, millions of fans and followers speak for them as well. They're going to talk about your products because they're awesome, not because you're telling them, not because you're putting like a tweet this button on your product page. It's got to be a good product first. Just some examples of some fun things that have happened with our products. Mr. Mittens is one of our top selling tees, and it became a float in the Pride Parade in Chicago. Here's a shirt, Birds of a Feather, that has been tattooed. This is just one of the tattoos, but if you search Threadless tattoos in Google and click images, you'll see so many of our designs have been tattooed by people. We even have some designs that get turned into cake. There's people, every year there's a competition that we host called Thread Cakes, and people find their favorite Threadless design and make it into a cake. Or we also find that passionate people are drawn to other passion-created products. This is 10-year-old boy on the news refused to say the Pledge of Allegiance at his school until gays have equal rights, and he's wearing this shirt on air, and Nerds Forever, at this 10-year-old age. It was really cool. The kind of people who really like our stuff are the kind of people who end up in situations like this. And here's a t-shirt that got made into a knitted doll. Yeah, marketing's what happens when you make good products, I think. How do we continue to innovate? What we mostly do is we give all the stakeholders in our business ways to shape the future of Threadless. And the main stakeholders are our community, our team of people that work at Threadless, and ourselves as a leader. When I say ourselves, I'm talking about like the executive team really at Threadless, me and Tom and kind of the chief level. So within our community, I've kind of spoken about how our whole business is community driven, but we even have them go. We even go so far as to let them weigh in on our strategy. One example is wholesale distribution. We've been having so many opportunities to take Threadless to retail in a huge way, and we've been very careful about it. And I posted this blog on our forum, just reaching out to people about, what do you guys think of this idea of going, what do you think of Walmart, Target, specifically? Like, how would you feel about us doing this? And there were very strong and spirited comments, but overall, most were very supportive about us doing this, and especially for the artist opportunities. Artists really want to see their work get out there everywhere, and we came to this great realization that there's kind of like a divide between the customers and the artists and what their motivations are, especially when it comes to retail. Customers don't want to see the same products that they're buying at Threadless just available everywhere, because it's something that's kind of like, you know, it's almost secretive to them. It's like, oh, Threadless is this really small brand that I love, and I don't want anybody to be able to have it, kind of. But artists wanted their work to be everywhere, so we figured out this idea where we would only do huge retail deals if they were exclusive designs being sold at that retail, so they're not the same designs that you can get at each place. And we just did a deal with Gap, and now Threadless is sold at Gap, and it's gone over really well with that exact concept. In our team, one example, something we do, we haven't done this in a little while, but we're going to do another one soon, is we do DIY Day. It's where anyone in the company can like pitch an idea, team up with others in the company that are interested in it, and then show a pitch or even a prototype at the end of the day for what they want to do. And when we first started this, you know, we were kind of concerned about how people would juggle this with their day jobs and wondering like how relevant the ideas would be, if they'd be good for the company. But it turns out pretty much every single idea was core to improving our business, and so far we've green-lighted every single idea that's come through this. One of my favorite examples is this comics line that we've done. Our warehouse manager is really passionate about comic books, and Threadless would never say from like an executive level. Like I don't think I would say like we have to have a comic book T-shirt solution. And you know, the only reason we would do this is because we have this employee that's extremely passionate about doing it. So let's let him do it. And he now does this series where he enlists he brings in a comic book writer and then 4 artists to design a series of shirts that could tell a complete story. And we come out with a new one of these about every quarter. And this is the first one. And just that green T-shirt alone there, we sold $250,000 worth of that shirt. And it's now like a piece of our business that we regularly do. We go to the Comic-Con event in San Diego, and it's amazing. Another example is we do a lot of cause-related stuff, and that all started by one of our employees way back with when Katrina hit. His family was affected by that and wanted us to do a T-shirt to raise funds for devastation there. So we did a shirt, and he designed it, and we raised $100,000 in about 15 days with that. And we've been doing these regularly since then. This one is for the Haitian earthquake, and it's translated to "many hands make the load lighter." We again raised $100,000 here. We raised it for Japan, for the Gulf oil spill. Even we did one actually for the floods here as well. Here's our employees all wearing the design. You know, you don't have to really be a community-based business to connect with the people that surround your company either. You know, every business has a community of evangelists and geeks that care about the company's products. Some work for the company, but many don't. And another thing we did is we've been doing floats in the Chicago Pride Parade every year, and it's a great way, like, just to get our whole team together making something real. The Mr. Mittens design that I showed you is one of them, but here's a video of the next one, which was like a robot, but you won't see this in the video, but one of the cool things is that people could tweet to the robot on our float, and it would read back the tweet in a robot voice, like over a loudspeaker to the whole parade. But here's the video.
We're at the Pride Parade again this year. We started last year because our boy Hips wanted to do something for Pride Parade, so we made a giant cat head last year. And this year, we made a giant robot.
We got Mr. Roboto Go Sightseeing behind us, representing a Pride Parade. It took a lot of man-hours. We somehow pulled together, mainly this guy.
And some other people.
And it's just crazy, and we're happy to be here, handing out shirts and sunglasses. This is our shirt this year. Closets aren't for clothes. We're just happy to be here with all of our Thread people.
I mean, we sell products on the internet on an e-commerce website. We sit behind computers all day and write code and design stuff. But if we weren't also making robots together, I don't think our website would be nearly as interesting to our customers and everything. That's a really important part of our culture. In ourselves, that's Tom, our CEO, and I'm photoshopped in because I wasn't at my desk during this photograph. But we also, there's decisions that we have to make too in the company to, be pushing the team, and one of the making big strategic changes in what we're doing. So, it's not like everything is just up to the community and their employees. I think that's an important part of the message too, is that there has to be, strategic thought in the business as well. So one of the things we've been working on a lot lately is, the past 12 years we've been selling t-shirts mostly and on our website, threadless.com. And Tom and I thought, wow, we could be making a lot more than just t-shirts, and we could be selling them in a lot more places than just threadless.com. So we started doing a lot of partnership-based challenges where we were sourcing designs for all kinds of different purposes. First 4 categories that we went into were causes, entertainment, consumer products, and retail. I'll just show you real quickly like some of the stuff we've been working on now, some of the cause-based products. The disaster relief stuff I spoke about earlier was the first version of this, but just last year we did 16 cause-based challenges, including a massive one for UNICEF in which we raised almost $400,000. We sold one $300,000 t-shirt during that, like a single t-shirt for $300,000, which was kind of awesome. And then here's just some of the other cause designs we've done. Some of the entertainment partnerships are working with, we have deals with like Disney and Cartoon Network, Sesame Street, and some of the big intellectual property holders out there to make designs for their intellectual property. Let our community like remix and reinterpret the artwork. We did a whole line of products for the MUPPETS through that. The consumer products category is iPhone cases is one of them, and these were for sale in the Apple Store. They're not anymore, but it was the best-selling accessory during the holiday season a couple years ago. Thermos water bottles in Target, tote bags, notebooks, even dresses with a fashion brand out of New York, where we challenge our community to design a pattern that we can then print on fabric and make all kinds of different products out of. So yeah, I mean, as the executives in the business, we're always pushing what we can do with the brand as well. But if there's one thing I can't emphasize enough, is how important it is to make things, to get ideas out of your head and actually like start bringing them to life. We can sit all day and come up with ideas and have meetings about them and talk about what we can be doing, but until we put them on paper at least, or like start prototyping them, they're basically hallucinations. And, so this thing I had an idea for scoring designs in real life, like making an arcade cabinet basically to score Threadless designs. And this is my garage. I built this myself, and I figured out how to like hook up these buttons to a device that you can plug into USB on your computer. And so basically when you push a button, it's just like pressing the number 1 key on your keyboard. And you can vote with keyboard shortcuts anyway, so now that button allows you to vote. And here's just a quick, I'll turn down the volume and talk over this, but we bring this with to certain events. It's actually in New York right now at a Gap opening for one of our flows at Gap. And I mean, it's just a simple project that I did in a couple days in my garage, but now who knows what it's going to turn into. Like, you may see these in every Gap store in the world, and people can vote on designs in real life. It could be fun. Let's see. Yeah, the numbers there are from my daughter's crafting supplies. Some other examples of, making things and not really knowing what's going to happen from it. startup brewery in Chicago came to us saying they want to make a Threadless beer. So we're like, okay, let's do that. And they did that, and now we hosted a design challenge well, the first time that they did the beer, it was just kind of like putting kegs in a few bars around Chicago, but it went over really well, so they decided they want to start canning it and distributing it. So we did a design challenge for the can, and now our beer is sold in Whole Foods and states and a few states in the U.S. Also building props for our t-shirt designs, for our photography and stuff. It's led to this great environment. If anybody's ever in Chicago, our headquarters is open to the public, and if you come in there, it's just filled with so much creative energy because we're always, building. We just made this costume for a photo shoot, but it's added to our culture so much, each thing that we do like this. So yeah, I'll just leave you with make things and switch to Q&A.